Hey guys, Persistent Programmer here and welcome back to my channel. So in this channel we solve a lot of algorithms and go over Leetcode questions. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, smash that like button because that helps me create this content for you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at today's problem. Hey guys, today we're looking at the problem container with most water, and we're given a list like this, and what we need to return is the maximum amount of water that can be stored within these given heights. So what does this mean? This means that within each of these heights, like between these two heights, how much water can we store? So let's take this example from 1 to 8, right? So if we try to store water in here, we can only store this amount of water, because if we store any other water above this, it's just going to pour out and we cannot contain that water. So for that reason, the amount of water we can contain between this and the next spot is just going to be this minimum height here. Okay, so the formula for finding area, which is what we need to find, what is our maximum amount of water, right? So the formula for calculating area is equal to width times height, right? So we're given the heights, but how do we know what is our width? And to get our width, what we simply need to do is find the index of each of these positions and then subtract it from the distance we are trying to calculate. So for here, we can say 1 minus 0. Our width is 1 here, and then our height here is also going to be 1. And yeah, if we look at it, the amount of water we can store here is going to be 1. So our area for this position is going to be 1. So similarly, we could calculate each of these areas one by one, right? And we could compute the max area. We could keep updating our max, and that way find out what is our what is a container with the most water. Pointer solution is that we have a left pointer here and a right pointer here, and at each step what we're going to do is take the minimum of these two, because this is the amount of water, if we pour over it, it's going to overflow, and we're going to assess, okay, like what is the area, maximum area we can store water between these 2 points. And if we see that, well, our left is smaller than the right currently, we need to move this left pointer forwards in the hopes that we find a larger height where our container for water is higher, right? So that's how we are going to approach this problem. And to find the width, again, we're going to take the distance within each position. So this is at position 0, and then this is at position I believe it's not 8, yeah, so 8. So we are going to calculate the width here, and then we are going to multiply it with the height, and that's how we are going to find the area. So let's have a look at the code, and I think it will become very clear. Awesome, I'm back at Leetcode, and what I'm going to do here is initialize my left and right pointers. So left is going to be equal to 0, and right is going to be equal to len height minus 1. And then while left is less than right, so this is when we are going to keep calculating our width. So I hope this makes sense. I put all the indexes down here, and to get the width, what we need to do is minus our right pointer from our left pointer. So this way we'll know what our width is at that specific time. So we can say that while left is less than right, width is going to be equal to right minus left. And we also need to find our area. So area is going to be equal to width times our height. And we want to make sure we're getting the minimum of the two heights that we are in, because if we are, let's say, here and here, right, what we want to do is we want to take this height into consideration, because the water will overflow from this side here. Yeah, so we want to take the lowest height, right? So to do that, we are going to say min of height left and height right. Okay, so this is how we have our area. And now once we have each area, our job is to find the maximum area that we can get after these. We've calculated the width and our area, right? So we will have a variable here called max area, and I'm going to set this equal to negative inf. And I'm going to update the max area here. So max area is going to be equal to the maximum of max area, so the previous max area and the current area that we just calculated. So that is going to be our max area, and what we need to do at the end is just return this. So we will say return max area. And we also need to move our pointers here. So let's review the conditions that we want to move them. So let's say we have a low value here at our left. So what we want to do is move this left pointer over, because there is a chance that we could achieve a higher area if we move this forward, right? So we are going to do that comparison. So we were going to say, okay, well, if our left, whatever we have our left at our left is actually lower than what we have on our right, then let's move the left forward. So with this same right, we do have a chance of having a higher area. Awesome. So what I'm going to do here is I will say if my height at the left side is lower than my height at the right side, then I'm going to move the left index forward. So I will say left plus equals 1. Else, I'm going to move my right index. So I will say right equal to minus equal to 1. So I hope you can see how we're adjusting these two depending on which one is greater. And yeah, lastly, we're going to return max area. So let's give this a run and see if this works. Oh, I need to indent all of this. Okay, there we go, run. Okay, accepted and submit. Awesome, success.